Okay, so we're burning more characters for the burning wheel. My ongoing campaign with one player from the duck feed community. In the last session, we had Qiaolian, the antagonist we burned up before. She invited Nusha, the main player character, to her embassy where she works, and invited her to be her date, basically, at this ball that the premier of the Aranean Republic was throwing. Qiaolian basically engineered their entrance in such a way as to cause the most scandal possible. So we're going to see what happens at that party now that, you know, they have made an entrance as a sort of openly lesbian couple in a extremely misogynistic society, and also the way that they dressed was in such a way as to incite the most scandal possible. So one of the characters I want to burn up is probably the premier of this republic that Nusha is from. He's the host of the party. And also, I probably also want to burn up Nusha's brother. But I think I might not get time for that today. So I'm going to start there. Right, so we're going to start at the beginning, burn a new character up. So let's go. Let's do it. So we'll at least call this guy Premier to start. And here we go. So the character concept is that he is the Premier of the Aranean Republic. I think he's probably got about 6 life paths. He's mannish. And let's see where we go with this. You know, the way that the setting life paths are built in Burning Wheel isn't exactly set up to be oriented towards merchant republics. It's much more oriented towards like a standard feudal order, but we can make it work. We can make it work. Okay, so we have a character concept, and we choose our life paths. So this guy, definitely city-born. He is city-born, which means he has 12 years, has that, gets 10 resources, and 4 general points, and 1 trait point. Next, I think he was probably kind of guy was he? Maybe a moneylender. I could see that. So merchant requires master craftsman, master of horses, master of hounds, moneylender, steward, jeweler, saddler, armor, cobbler, courtier, or chamberlain. So yeah, I think he probably was a moneylender. Sure. So he went from city-born into moneylender. I don't think he was a student. So that's an 8-year. And he gets 20 resources from that. As well as 4 skill points and 1 trait point. Next, he probably went into merchant. Which is actually oh, you can't get to merchant from banker, but he can get to banker from merchant. So I think that's what happened, is he probably went from finance capital into mercantile capital and then back into finance capital. Okay, so he was a merchant. He was that for 6 years. He gets 30 resources out of that. 1 mental point. He gets 6 skill points. And no trait points. Next, he went into banker. So he gets 10 years. He gets 60 resources, 4 skill points, 1 trait point. And then, what could he do after that? I think it's probably municipal minister. That's probably his last thing, right? That is so weird to me that you cannot go from banker to magnate. But I think he's probably, yeah, he's probably going back into merchant. Uh, 6, 31, 6. And so that's 1, 2, 3. And then he goes into oh, he can't become a municipal minister. So I think he goes into magnate. Yep. Which gets him, this is just 12 years. He gets 75 resources. He gets 1 mental point, 6 skill points, and 2 trait point. Oh, 1 general point and 2 trait points. That is the big money. All right, so city-born, moneylender, merchant, banker, merchant, magnate. Cool. All right, so let's grab his required skills and traits. So first life path is city-born. He gets general for that. Next, he went into moneylender, which gives him currency-wise. Which is required and opened. And his traits, he takes Pennywise. So it's required, cost of 1. Next, we get all right, next he went into merchant. That gives you accounting. It's required. And traits, there are none. And he takes merchant again, so it also means he has to take haggling, because it goes to the next skill on the list. And then, so we have, oh, banker. Banker, he takes administration, because we already have accounting. That's required and opened. And traits as a banker, he has to take intense. That's also required as a cost of 1. And then finally, he goes into magnate, because he goes back to merchant and then into magnate. Magnate, he has to take, already has administration, has to take merchant wise. It's required and opened, and he takes the trait self-satisfied. It's required and has a cost of 1. Okay, cool. All right, so that's all of his life paths. What he must take, I think we still have to deal with his skill points first, right? That's the next thing. Did that. Choose life paths. Oh, now we do stats. Okay. Stats. So he is a man of 54 years. Is a mental pool of 8 and a physical pool of 8. So he's gonna take I think 4 and 4 is totally reasonable here. Yes, it is spider inspired. That is absolutely correct, Blake. Good pull there. Yes, definitely. It was kind of this idea that you know, the Republic is this landlocked trading city, and its trade routes are sort of like a web, you know. It draws things to itself. And physical pool. I think he's not very fast. Maybe a little bit agile. We'll say he's B2. He's probably got a fair amount of fort. We'll say 4 fort, maybe 5 fort, and then 2, maybe 2 power, 2 speed, and we'll give him 3 agility. Okay, cool. So that's his stats. And his skills. Oh, I still have points to spend. Right. So we'll give him a I think he's more perceptive than he is willful. Well, he's the head of the Republic, so we'll give him 5 and 5. 5 and 5. Okay. We're not going to give him any gray shades. His skills. Let's do this. So, he has 26 points remaining to spend. From Moneylender, he can take haggling and accounting, so he has all of those already. Doesn't need to worry about it. For merchant, he can take supplier-wise, lord-wise, peasant-wise. I think he definitely has supplier-wise, because this is a very much a is this a homemade Roll20 sheet or purchased? This is the Roll20 sheet that you can use for Burning Wheel for free on Roll20. I think that it's probably a thing that Adam Koebel stipulated they make so that he would become their sort of house GM. Because he wanted to run a Burning Wheel series. That was one of the first things he did when he started Roll20%. So he got them to make a cool Burning Wheel character sheet on Roll20 for him to use for that first series. With who was all in that series? It was Andrew Gillis, Austin Walker, and I can't remember the third player. That's bad, but somebody who is no longer on their show. Yeah, you'd have to go look it up. Yes, so absolutely, absolutely. It removes so many barriers. I can't imagine playing Burning Wheel without this character sheet. This is a godsend. It's so useful. You know, this is like my #1 reason to use Roll20 is this character sheet. I mean, you could make an Excel thing, but the layout of this is like logical, and it's well integrated with Roll20. So it's interesting that, you know, Roll20 kind of shines with this sort of very crunchy system, but their best stuff that they have, their most supported stuff they have on the website is mainly oriented towards 5e, because that's the most popular game out there. And 5e is not really that complicated. So in a way, they're not really playing to their strengths. This sheet totally plays to their strengths. So it is something I swear by and absolutely use whenever I play Burning Wheel. It is awesome. All right. So yes, I believe that this guy is supplier-wise. Because this is a republic of guilds, they are suppliers. So he totally is that. And when I have the chance to spend general points, I will probably also buy guild-wise as a thing. Also from the merchant life path, he could take lord-wise, which I am on the fence about. I might come back to that, but I'll just put it in here in case I want to take it. So put a question mark here, maybe. Banker. Did I mark the general points for Banker? I didn't. Banker gives 2 general points. So better, yeah. Okay. So from Banker, there's nothing in the life path for him to buy. He already has everything. And Magnate, administration, merchant-wise, he has. Court-wise, commodities-wise, pirates-wise, bandit-wise, and 1 general point. I have that one, right? Yeah. So I think he's absolutely merchant-wise. Oh, no, he already has merchant-wise. He's court-wise. That's right. He's court-wise. For sure, because he is the premier. Is that required? It is not required. This is not required. Supplier-wise is also not required, if I'm thinking correctly here. That's from the merchant. Yeah, it's not required. That's not correct. But it is open. Merchant-wise, I believe, is required. Yes, I already had administration, so that was required. Okay, so court-wise, opened but not required. Okay. So court-wise for sure. And I think he will take lord-wise because it may be useful. Okay. So that is all of his life path skills. I mean, I could take others, but like pirate-wise is useless. Bandit-wise could come into play, maybe. I think he has it open, but definitely not advanced. Okay. So let's look at his skills. What is he going to invest in? Administration, absolutely. I think he probably has gray shade administration. Just checking how to buy that. I believe it is 5 points, yeah. 5 points, so he will take gray shade administration. And maybe like an advance in that. And currency-wise, definitely advancing that. Haggling, for sure. He's, like, good at that. We'll give him, like, 3 advances in that. Merchant-wise, I mean, I don't think we need to spend too much into this. Accounting, I could say like 3 points in accounting because he's been like a money lender and, well, actually he probably has this as a gray shade too, honestly. And we'll see it's like G2. Well, it's honestly probably more like G3 because he was a money lender, a merchant, and then a banker, a merchant again, and then a magnate. So, like, he has spent a lot of time doing books. Supplier-wise, I think this is probably pretty advanced. So we'll give him B3. Court-wise, we'll give him B2. And merchant-wise, like a B2. Well, he spent 2 life paths as a merchant, so we'll give him B3. I don't know. Okay, that's too many. So we'll say B2 and B3 merchant-wise. Okay, cool. So that is his basic skill list. Then we'll do the general. Spiders young often eat the old. This could be manifest as the elderly forced into militia duty or public service. Also, mates are disposed of, so family unity is not a priority. Marriage for advantage or gain. I think... I mean, I think we might see the family unity not being a priority come up as a theme in this campaign. As for the sort of abuse of the old, the elderly, I don't think this is that kind of place. I mean, it's a merchant republic. There are definitely like young bucks who come up and sort of like mess with the system, but by and large, I imagine that the merchant houses are run by fairly old people, and the guilds as well. Interesting idea, though, for, you know, being on theme with the name. Just have to respond to a message. Okay, now let's keep going with the general skills. So he has 7 general points. I think he's going to buy Noble Wise. Just open it. I think, what else is he gonna buy? Oh, obviously, reading, writing. So these are both opened. Foreign languages. What else? What else? Guild-wise. For sure. Probably oratory is a thing he has. Also, how are we doing for points? We have 1 point left to get. Oratory and rhetoric or persuasion. No, I think he's more of a rhetoric guy. No, I mean a persuasion guy, not a rhetoric guy. Like, yeah, he knows how to talk to a crowd, but he doesn't have the fanciest of words. Okay. So, currency-wise, he is the premier. He's already in power. He is the top dog in this republic. Yeah. So... yeah, so he made it. He has currency-wise, accounting, haggling, administration, merchant-wise, supplier-wise, lord-wise, court-wise, bandit-wise, noble-wise, reading, writing, foreign languages, guild-wise, oratory, and persuasion. Cool. Now, his traits. We have 2 trait points to spend. Is that... No, what? Oh, we bought 3, so we have 2 left to buy. Traits. Whew, boy. We have 2 points. I could buy a die trait with him. So... He's not, I don't think he's charismatic or charming. Those are common traits, but yeah. Not a child prodigy. I don't think he's cold-blooded. He's not a contortionist. Maybe cool-headed. Maybe. Driven, I don't think so. Exile, definitely not. Familiar face, no. Fortitude, no. Glib, no. Healthy, no. Inspirational, no. Definitely not lithe. Meticulous, maybe. I could see that. Rain Man. I don't think so. I don't think so. Scheming, like, maybe, but I don't think to the point of having a trait. So I think maybe meticulous. For a twist, haunted by nightmares, an open door, spirits speak through him via visions. He could have the dreamer trait, which is what gives you that sort of prophetic dream stuff. Dreamer is 3 points, though. I can't afford it. Unfortunately. Because the thing is, Merchant doesn't give you any trait points. So, he doesn't have a lot. Haunted, I don't know if that is a trait. It is. It's a 1-point character trait. I'm just going to look at Meticulous, because he could take Haunted. I don't know how much we really want to explore supernatural stuff in this campaign. So, Meticulous. The Meticulous character is neat and organized to the point of obsessiveness. All non-physical martial arts skill tests take the maximum time required. The trait may be used as a call-on for one academic, craftsman, artisan, or military skill of the player's choosing. So I don't think that's it, actually. He's probably going to get 2 character traits here. Oh, shit. I just realized that I have to do something for my other character, because she has the trait Noblesse Oblige, but I didn't give her extra belief. So I will do that. I will do that in just a moment. I'm going to take care of his traits first. So he's going to take character traits, which aren't going to give him any advantages. But it does give us a lot more options. We already have an alcoholic character in the game, so I don't really want to do another. As a member of this culture, his traits that he gets for free are... cosmopolitan, misogynistic, and entitled. Okay. So he's going to get... Politan, mystic, and entitled. And in addition to that, whew. Maybe I could see him taking greedy. And ooh, and of course he's going to take the patriarchal trait. So greedy and patriarchal, which puts him at 0, and these are cultural. Why? Because that means it gives all the more reason for the characters to fight him. Which means, you know, I think he probably has many children, right? He is a stern father. He, you know, he is the unquestioned head of his household. All right. So those are his traits. Pennywise, intense, self-satisfied, cosmopolitan, misogynistic, entitled, greedy, and patriarchal. Okay, not the most pleasant dude. Let's move on. We are done traits. Oh, we better do this stuff here. The skill list. Okay, so all wises are rooted in perception. If I'm, yeah. So perception. More than one wife? Yeah, I could totally see that. I'm gonna talk to my player about that because you know, this is their culture, so to speak. So I want to see if that's the thing. But yeah, absolutely, I could see him having more than one wife, for sure. Perception, 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 perception. Okay, those are done. So, accounting is also perception. Haggling, I believe, is will. Yeah. Administration is perception. Not fort, no. Reading, I believe, is also perception. Yep. Writing is... Oh, right. It is right. Right is perception, agility. Perception and agility. Foreign languages. Perception. I mean, oratory. It's probably will. Yep. And persuasion, I believe, is also will. Yes, that's correct. Okay. So I think what I'm actually going to do is knock this down by 1 and put this up by 1. Because he's spent so much time... he spent so much time with perception skills. There's no way he wouldn't have a higher perception stat. Okay. Which is good for him. So now, we're going to keep going. Actually, I'm going to do my other character, update her. Because I need to do that. She has a special belief she gets from Noblesse Oblige. Which I need to add. So this is the character we burned up last time. Okay, Noblesse Oblige. She gets... So just make sure she has it first. Her traits, Noblesse Oblige, yeah. So she gets a new belief. I have to actually write a new belief for her, but she gets a 4th special belief. This is... Okay, so this is... It is my duty to guard society and uphold its interests. I govern from duty, heritage, and right. Rulership is my natural and ordained task. The opinions of the commoners are uneducated, therefore worthless. I am responsible for the people. My reverence is to the crown. Rule of the many strips society of its strength and divides it into unfriendly fragments. Rulership by minds unaccustomed to privilege is impossible. Wealth, birth, and intellect mark an individual to undertake governance. Okay. What does she think? I think it's probably... The opinions of commoners are uneducated, therefore worthless. Well, I don't know if she believes that. I don't think that she thinks they're worthless. I think this one is true, though. Rulership by minds unaccustomed to privilege is impossible. I don't think that's personally true, but I think that's true for her. Okay. Because we saw that in the first episode, the first session of the game. She could recognize the intellect of Nusha, but also clearly thought it was inferior to her own. So I'll do this next time. But I just wanted to update her sheet with that special thing. Okay, so let's get back to our friend the Premier. We have done his skills. We've done his traits. Step 7 is his attributes. So the health stuff, I don't think he's that healthy. We'll see. So mortal wound is done for us. Reflexes is done for us. Health. Does the character live in squalor and filth? Hell no. Is the character frail or sickly? No. Was the character severely wounded in the past? I don't think so. I don't think this guy fought in the wars. I think he was decisively just the guy who paid for them. Has the character been tortured and enslaved? No. No. So he just gets the health he gets. Steel. Has the character taken a conscript, soldier, bandit, squire, or knight type life path? No. Has the character ever been severely wounded? No. Has the character ever murdered or killed with his own hand? It's not inconceivable, but I don't think he's done it more than once. Maybe he's grooming some kids, but they all have equal power, so he's focused on the ones that like him, but that's a weakness too. Yeah, I mean, totally. Especially, I could see if he has multiple children, or multiple wives, dealing with his children would be a major concern for him. You're right. You're totally right about that. Has the character been tortured, enslaved, or beaten terribly? No. Has the character led a sheltered life free from violence and pain? No. Has the character been raised in a competitive environment? Yes. So that's 1. Has the character given birth to a child? No. No. Perception is 6 or higher? Yes. Raise steel by 1, so that's 2. Will stat is not 5 or higher. Fort is 6 or higher. No, it is not. So he gets +2. So steel is 5. Steel is 5. His reflex is determined automatically, and that's it for traits or attributes. Now we have to spend his whopping 225 resource points. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, so he is obviously going to start with a national or major reputation. So he has... So he's gonna have an affiliate, a big huge reputation, a big huge affiliation. So he has a 3, or he has a affiliation with the Aranean Republic. That has a cost of 50 RP and is a 3-die affiliation. Some of his kids are trying to set up socialism. Maybe. I think... Maybe... I don't know if this is a society that is ripe for socialist revolution, but I could see maybe some of his children belonging to some kind of radical religious sect. That could be a thing for him. Mm-hmm. Something like that. Yeah. Interesting thought. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what the complications are for this guy. So he has a reputation. As the premier. Premier of the Aranean Republic. So the cost of that is 45 RP. That is a 3-die reputation. So I think he needs to have a relationship with the captain of the guard, so that he can have access to the guards of the Republic. So this will be 10 RP relationship. So relationship, captain of the guard. That is probably just a straight 10 RP relationship, no complications. Okay. So that means that he gets access to the guard of the city. Aside from that, I think he's also the head of a merchant guild. Or the head... the captain loves him, as in worshipful. I don't think so. I don't think so. No. I mean, I think this guy... The relationship to the captain of the guard is probably somewhat... I wouldn't say it is hateful or rivalrous or extremely unfriendly, but it's probably distant to a point, because this is a country that just lost a war. I don't think they, it's probably like this guy became the premier after the last one was sacked. And it's a complicated relationship, but it's not necessarily a hateful one. Yeah. So... I don't think it's any more complicated than that. Aside from that, I don't think he has like a bodyguard or apprentice. It's not super interesting. So yeah, I think he's the head of a guild. I think he's probably the head of... I think he's been in and out of banking. So I think he has a reputation and affiliation. So he has an affiliation with a trade guild. So affiliation, the Bankers Guild. That's 25 RP and 2D. And he also has a reputation as head of the Bankers Guild. Maybe the captain is his son from a previous marriage. I think the captain is probably a foreigner. That's the thing. But I don't think I don't think it's a forbidden relationship to have a foreigner as the captain. It's just they're cosmopolitan people. They're not upset by that. I mean, is the relationship hateful? I don't really think so. I don't think so. I don't think so. No, I don't think this is a complicated relationship. There will be other relationships that are super fucked up, but I don't think the relationship with the captain is that. So he has that. He has the reputation, which would be a 25 RP 2D reputation. Okay. So now let's get into relationships here. Some real shit. He has children, right? He's got children. So, I think he probably has a son, his eldest son. And his eldest son is being held hostage by the Xia Empire. Okay, there's a complication right there. Eldest son. Eldest son held hostage by Xia. So this would be a character who is considered significant. Yeah, I guess so. His immediate family. That's -2. And that's it. So it's an 8 point. Okay, so that's one of his children. That is a complicated relationship. I think he probably has a... Oh, well, we know what this is. It's not that he's a son who's a part of a religious cult. He has a daughter who is a part of a religious cult. And they are like, fuck the patriarchy. So that's going to be a complication for him. Daughter, radical cultist. So this is immediate family, forbidden, and also hateful. So that's -5. So that would be a 1 point relationship. He probably... Oh, he definitely has a relationship with the head of the the head of the Guild of Notaries, which is the main character's brother. So that is a significant character, and probably it's not forbidden. It's not really hateful. Maybe it is hateful, because this guy, this shithead, he took over the Guild of Notaries from somebody else, and that somebody else could be this guy's brother or cousin. Maybe cousin, I could see. Yeah. Okay, so it is a 8-point relationship because it's hateful. So this is hateful. Took job from cousin. He has a relationship with his cousin, former head of the Guild of Notaries. And this guy is pretty much insignificant at this point, and is a other family relationship, so he's 4 points. Cousin. Yeah, that's pretty much all you need to know. And he also has a relationship with Qiaolian. That's probably about it. So, relationship Qiaolian. Oh, obviously he has a, like, at least a senior wife. Like, maybe not, like, I don't think he's gonna buy a relationship with all his wives. I don't know. It just seems like too much NPC bloat. So, you know what? This is the thing. He has an affiliation with his wives. Because he doesn't have just one. So this is a small local or specialized group. His own wives. He has an affiliation with them. That's funny. Okay. So yeah, so she is powerful, plays a large role in the game setting, and is a hateful relationship. So that is 13 points. Hateful. And he has an affiliation with his wives. And they are a 10-point 1D affiliation. And then probably a relationship with a senior wife. She would be immediate family, not very significant, romantic love. So that's 1 point. Okay. So that is his relationships and affiliations. Now he needs to buy shit. He's obviously got some property going on here. I can never find the human or the mannish property stuff. Elven resources. It's not at the back of here, right? No. Mannish resources. Okay. So, he has shoes, of course. Shoes is 1 point. He has finery for 5. He has property, absolutely. So at present, he can't afford a manor or estate, but I think it's very important that he have one. So let's figure out how we can make this work. These ones I like. So if I get rid of this one, I get rid of this one, that's 27, and I need another 3 points to buy a manor. So I think most of these are important. I think this may be unfriendly, I will say that, because he sees him as a failure. It's not really hateful, but it's not very friendly either. So that's... change Elian to just disdain for 10. No, I would... If I wanted to reduce her value, I would have to make them be in love, and I think that is 100% not happening. So this is -2, so that puts this down to a 2. I need 1 more point. Fuck it. Make the captain of the guard his cousin. Nine points. Boom. Property. Property gets us a manor or estate. So yeah, he has a manor. His manor. Property. Manor for 30 RP. Okay, there we go. We are out of cash. This is a very connected person. Okay. So his resources. Total the resource points spent on characters' property, reputations, and affiliations, not relationship spells or gear. Okay, so let's do it. Let's get out that calculator. So 50 plus 45 plus 25 plus 25 plus 30 plus 10. Property, reputations, and affiliations, yeah. 185 divide by 15. 12.3 round down. So, I mean, he's got 12 resources. So, of course, we're going to gray shade his resources. It's just absurd. So, gray shaded. And so that would be 12 minus 5. So, 7 G7 resources. He is balling out of control. So rich. So rich. Wow. Okay. Next. I mean, he's the head of the Merchant Republic. Of course he's rich. He's the head of the Bankers Guild as well. Like, come on. Now, his circles. Half the will exponent rounded down. So half the will exponent rounded down is 2. Increased by plus 1d if 50 or more resource points were spent on property and relationships. Okay, so property and relationships. So it's 9 plus 8 plus 1 plus 30 plus 2 plus 13 plus 1. 64. So that puts his circles up to 3. Half the will exponent rounded down plus 1. Yeah, that's 3. So B3 circles. Okay. Okay. Physical tolerances. We're almost done this guy. It's probably the longest it's going to take to burn any character because he's got 6 life paths and so many resources. So he has a mortal wound of 9. B9 mortal wound. And his superficial wound is half fort rounded down plus 1. Fort is 5, so that goes to rounded down would be 2, plus 1 would be 3. Superficial. Light, midi, severe. And half the fort exponent rounded up would be 3. So they can be set apart by up to 3 points. Okay, so we'll start here. Traumatic. severe, and then we don't have a lot of space. Superficial and light, so this light can be 1, 2. We'll put light there. Okay. Cool. Now, let's move on to his beliefs and instincts. Yeah. Okay. So beliefs. Here's one. Property is sacrosanct. Oh, I mean, he's gonna get in trouble, of course. They're PCs, what do you expect? Cool. Thanks for hanging out, Blake. Property is sacrosanct. Property is the foundation of the social order. A woman's what is his next belief? Something misogynistic, obviously. A woman is a is an asset to be acquired, appreciated, and secured. Now he needs an actionable belief. I will... the Republic is in a state of crisis. I will keep steady the course. There we go, that's better. A woman is an asset to be acquired, appreciated, and made use of. What a piece of shit. Okay. Property is the foundation of the social order. I think it's good enough. I don't think it needs to be more sophisticated than that. Okay, instincts. This guy, let's look at his traits. Okay, he's cosmopolitan, so I think he has an instinct. Always seek allies from other lands. Always collect on my collect on my debts? Always collect what I am due. And of course, never let a woman get the better of me. Okay. There we go. He is garbage. And his name, I think we are going to be going with something like Uzbek, I think is the standard we're using here. Furkat, Premier of Arabia. Okay. He's done. We did the thing. We have a character. Cool. Good. It's good to know who's in charge of this place. Good, 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 good. Great. How are we doing for time? It's 4 o'clock. I think I should take a break here. Probably won't take too long to burn up Nusha's brother, but I'm going to take a break first, and then maybe I'll come back to it. All right, so if you watch this, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed seeing this very extended character burning session. And I'll have probably more down the line as I continue to flesh out this setting and add significant NPCs to it. So until then, we'll see you next time.